4, 3, 2, 1. We are on air. YPG Unlocked. Because in the YPG, we got too much sauce.
Just so you'll know, I don't see your hands, so since they decided to block my eyes. Okay. Shapfedo YPG, my name is Caroline and I'm here to present to you about the university's project. Yes, that one. Sorry. I'm here to speak to you about the university's project. Yola a distraction. Shapfedo YPG, my name is Caroline and I'm here to present to you about the project of the universities. So most of the time we think that when we speak about universities, we speak about people who are going to school only, but the universities project is split into different segments. We have a segment that focuses on high school students where we offer tutoring for different subjects and make sure that whatever they're finding difficult at school, we are there to support them. We even go to visit the schools to make sure that they actually get to know us and give motivational talks. Another segment we have is for us to transition the high school students into the campus life. This we call the campus to corporate. No, classroom to campus. Then it's the campus to corporate. Yeah, that's a lot of C's. Sorry.
How would you summarize the university's project in 3 words?
Ooh, the university's project in 3 words. Determination brings success.
Okay. And then why?
This project, wow. A lot of us do not have someone to look up to. We don't have the correct role models. Most of the time it's celebrities, people that we don't even know, they don't know us. So our mentality gets diverted. But in the YPG, we bring the university's project so that we can help mold the minds of young people for them to know that they can be successful, they can be better. They don't have to be, they don't have to only think that there will be what is happening in their family. I think this is one of the most amazing projects because it takes the youth from out of their comfort zone, out of their space. In South Africa, a lot of times we don't have families that are role models, so we are segregated by what we see. We only think that what we see is what we can achieve. So in the YPG, we try to form visionaries so that people can see that they can be more, they can do more. And with the university's project, we support that vision, we support that dream so that they know that they can achieve much success than what is currently right in front of them. A lot of challenges that we face with the university project is that documentation, because most of the time a person would want to apply for university, but because they don't have the correct documentation, then they have to start with that process, and sometimes their family doesn't cooperate, so it becomes very difficult. And sometimes it's also that families have a tendency to impose what a person has to study and what subjects they need to do at school. And if I'm not enjoying that at school, if I don't like it at school, then it's hard to give it my all. So having to shift that mindset to actually say whatever that you do, you can be successful in it if you put strength into it. So yeah, a lot of people come with those kind of problems.
And then how do you guys find a way to help them with that?
We have to show them the bigger picture. So most of the time we have to explain to them the benefits of why they're doing what they're doing. people, a lot of times we don't like school. We go to school because we have to. But if I actually tell you that if you get a matric certificate and you go to university and you achieve the career that you want, it gives you something to look forward to. So we have to shift that mindset. We have to make sure that we do our research, of course, to make sure that we give the correct information that will help them. And also make sure that whatever that they are currently doing, it's something that they want to do and they are very excited to do.
Okay. And then how exactly does tutoring work for universities and who is it for?
Tutoring is for high school students. We meet every Saturday, and normally they give us information during the week as to who's coming for what grade, for what subjects, and then we make arrangements. We use the university students to be the ones tutoring high school students. So it's kind of win-win situation. We work together. So yeah, it can be for anybody who is in high school, doesn't matter the subject, doesn't matter the grade. So as long as they're interested and they need help, they are struggling, or they want to come and help somebody else, then they are more than welcome.
Okay, and then what do they say? Oh, how do we get in touch with you guys if I want to come to tutoring?
Simplest way is to put send us a DM telling us that you need tutoring or you want to help with tutoring, and then we will make arrangements from there, because then we have to set up a day where you're going to come and then a tutor that will be allocated to you. So if you're going to come more frequently, of course, you're going to have that person who's going to be there. You're going to communicate with them so that you constantly hear. But then if it's going to be a once off and you need something related to a specific topic, tell us beforehand. We will ask a tutor to prepare that topic, and then we tell you where to go. The closest UCK YPG branch. This project is recommended for everybody, actually, everyone in the YPG, because our tasks and our activities range from high school to workplace people, so professionals. So it can be for everybody, whether you're in high school, whether you're in university, whether you are already a working professional, you can come.
Has there ever been a situation where a student did not improve in whatever subject they were struggling with, or a situation where it was difficult for even the tutors to help the students?
No, not in our case, because more than just giving people tutoring, school books and textbooks, we have to understand who they are. We need to understand what they're struggling with. If we see that what we're trying to teach them does not register, then we need to understand where the root of that comes from. So it hasn't happened before because we focus on the person themselves. So we might help you emotionally, we might help you with the pressure that you're facing, so that once that tension is released, you have more reason to focus, and then your absorption is much better. So no, we have not had anyone who has not improved.
Do parents often get involved in the whole process, whether it be for high school kids or universities or even careers?
Mostly parents are involved for high school students, because obviously if I'm telling your grade 10 child that they need to come to this place that they've never been to, obviously they want to know what's going on. So we've had a couple of parents coming over because they will want to come and see what happens when we actually do assist their kids with application, if this is really a real thing and it's not a scam. I have been in contact with parents on their phone, making sure the kids come on time, they leave on time. And also making sure that we reach the objective. So sometimes we even take pictures of them tutoring so that we send it to the parents as evidence, because these kids do something sometimes. So we need to make sure that we keep our word as the YPG. So definitely parents are involved.
Okay. So I passed my grade 12, I passed my matric, and now I am looking for a varsity, but I do not have the funds. How do you guys help me?
So there's different types of funding that we can help with. We don't pay your school fees, please note. We do not pay your school fees, but we assist. So there's different things like your learnerships, your internships that you can start with while trying to save up for your funding. But mostly, depending on how you passed, we can help you apply for bursaries in different companies. NSFAs, if you apply on time, depending on when you come to us. But yeah, there are different options that we can look into in order for you to have funding for university. Sometimes the universities themselves offer student funding, so that by the time you graduate, then you work for them in return, and pay it off. Yeah.
So I'm done with university. So what is the process you said that should help us move from campus to corporate? What exactly do you mean by campus to corporate?
Campus to corporate is a transition. Normally it starts way before you graduate, because before you graduate, we need to create a CV for you. We need to make sure that you have you get the marks that you need in order for you to make sure that you actually pass. So the transition basically involves us helping you apply, knowing how to apply, how to present yourself in an interview, how to dress for an interview, and all the preparations that you may need in order for you to get into the corporate world. So it varies from CV, interview preparation, and how to carry yourself once you actually get the job.
So I want to like what are the bachelor documents? How long does it take the bachelor documents?
So remember, we don't create those documents, so the duration is not up to us. It's up to the Home Affairs, the correct departments that work with these things. So our job basically is to help you get there and actually make sure that your application is successful. But apart from that, we don't have the authority to issue out government documents. So we would help you with what you need to apply, what documents you need, what supporting documents you might need, whether it is your proof of residence, whether it is your birth certificate, documents of your parents, and help guide you so that you know where to go, what time you need to be there, if you need to set an appointment, who you need to speak to, especially with complicated cases. There are certain people who one parent is South African, the other one is not. And so if the mother is not South African, normally it's very difficult to apply using your father's documents. And if your mother is not South African, then getting to apply in a South African Home Affairs is another mission. So we kind of help guide through things like that.
You guys gave us all these opportunities, right? How does this benefit you?
A better South Africa is better for all. No, I'm kidding. That is true, but we don't have to gain anything, because remember, the more youth that is successful in our country in the YPG can help the next youth as well. So it's a cycle. It's a gift that keeps giving. We also received the help, so now we're passing it all. No fund, no charge, nothing.
Has there ever been a time, maybe for high school students or even varsity, where you advised against a certain course or certain subjects for certain people?
I wouldn't say advise against, but more like weigh the options. Because you might get people who did general studies, but they want to apply for a course of being a doctor. So that course requires science. And if I apply with your matric results of a general to that course, it's an automatic decline. A decline is painful, Joe. Decline is very painful. So we try to advise that with the subjects that you have, these are the options that you have. These are the courses that you can apply for, and the ones that you would qualify for. So which one stands out for you? So even more than that, normally if the people come directly to me, what I normally do is, before we even open reports or ask about what subjects they did in high school, I ask them what they want, what are they interested in, what's the thing that gives them joy, and then using that we can link it to the subjects that they have and find a course that's going to actually make them happy. A lot of times, because we are human beings, we change, we evolve. So sometimes we fall in love with something else. For instance, I studied accounting, but at work I'm doing data analysis, which is different in a sense. But when I studied accounting, I was very determined that this is what I want. But when I finished it, I actually realized that I loved something else. So then I studied that. So it happens because we are people, we are exposed to different things, and we keep changing.
You must never look at the
Yeah,
camera.
if you do something wrong, I'm gonna default to the camera, because then I have to tell them that it is this person that did wrong.
So in 3, 2, 1, how would you summarize the university?
What will produce the difference in everything we do in the YPG? The people who form part of the YPG needs to make a mark in the lives of those who come. It is your responsibility, it is my responsibility, it is our responsibility to make a mark in the lives of each and every youth who comes to the YPG. Those who are watching us online, it is our responsibility. And it starts with small things, small gestures which sometimes we don't notice. When they enter that place, they need to sense that there is something different in this place. We were doing the sign-ups. I couldn't join the team here in Soweto for the UJ one, but when we were doing it at WITS, and I know that in UJ it was the same, when people would see us, they would say there's something special, there's something different about you guys, the way we would approach them. And we spoke about this. The way we would dedicate ourselves to attract them to come to us. We did not judge them based on their gender, based on their preferences, based on their color, based on their age, based on anything. We weren't concerned with that. But imagine, they feel like there's a light of hope, but when they arrive here, they feel like the YPG is just like everywhere else. That can't be. So it is something which I want each and every one of you, and the others who aren't here or won't make it on time, for them to have this conscience inside of them that we can't be just one more group. It's invincible, flawless, and unbeatable, then it's war. That's one thing. But once it finishes, at the end of the day, it's not about which nation wins, which nation does this or that. It's about leading those who are lost to be found, those who are suicidal, those who are depressed. There are youth who don't want even, they don't really want us to speak. They just want someone to listen to them. They just want someone to listen to them. I just want someone to hear me. They're going through so much. No one ever bothers listening to them, especially considering the world we live in. In the world which we live in, your appearance is the first thing that accepts or declines, will accept you or decline you or reject you. If you're wearing fancy brand, if you're wearing Gucci, if you're wearing Adidas, if you're wearing Nike, you're wearing fancy brands, okay, we like you, cool, you can be with us. You're wearing no-name brand, you're wearing cheap brands, you're wearing clothes which we don't know, you're rejected. You have money, you're accepted. You don't have money, we don't want you around. The world creates the standards of what's beautiful and what's ugly. This is a beautiful lady, this is an ugly lady. This is accepted, that's rejected. And then they come into the YPG, even if you're not doing that, even if there is no separation in our midst, sometimes we don't notice the message we give off. Whenever, anywhere I conduct a hangout and I will see someone, I'll know that this person is new. Most of you here might not know all your names, but I know your faces. You pester me every Sunday when I come here. There's some others who come, PJ and stuff. I see most of you, Assistant T2 and so forth. But I can see when someone is new. I can see when someone is like, this person's not usually in the YPG. Usually whenever I see that, I go to that person, I greet them. Did you enjoy? Are you going to come back next week? Please come back. Or we're going to miss you. I say it meaning it, even if I might not see that person again because I might not be able to visit that place again, but I will do it because I want that person. Maybe that person was not acknowledged ever in his life. In the YPG, we have something special. When someone performs something and we don't like it, we don't laugh at that person. We don't boo them. I went, Itu wasn't there. Michael and them were there. We went to Wits the other day, and one of the network providers were in the lawns, which is outside. And they had big tents and they had a big sound. And I forgot the name they said of some rapper or what. They said, so-and-so is here. Hey guys, so-and-so is here. Oh, you remember, you were there, ne? I won't say the name because Shay, maybe he's watching, maybe. And they're like, come, if anybody wants to take a picture with so-and-so, come. Then people are like, boo, we don't want to put the music back on. We don't want to listen to this guy. People are savage outside. We would never do that. If we found something funny, we would laugh with you, not at you. If he does something funny, we're going to laugh with him. And if we notice that he didn't like it, we'll stop laughing. That's how we do things, am I right? I hope so. We usually say this. In the YPG, we don't laugh at you, we laugh with you. If somebody comes and sings and he can't sing and she sings horrible, we will laugh with that person. We're not going to be there roasting. Finishes the hangout, it's done. We'll laugh with you. Nah, don't worry. Come to dance next week. We were never going to remember you as the bad singer. We'll tease you, we'll laugh with you and get it over and done with. You will even laugh. We will laugh with you. You will laugh at yourself. Because we will show to you that, you might not be good in this, but you're good at that. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. And let's be honest, there are people whom you can see the suffering in their eyes. Those of you who are in high school, you don't even have to just be, I'll start with high school. There's always that kid who is bullied. There's that boy who, if you go and chill with him, everyone laughs at you. There's that boy because he's strange. There's that girl who everybody laughs at her. Maybe because they find her fat, or they say she's ugly, or they say things about her. She's despised. You should be the best friend of that person. You should be the one to approach and say, I'm here with you. Instead of trying to be with the cool crew. Instead of trying to be accepted by them. Because I don't know why you're trying to be accepted by a bunch of losers. Because those who are trying to be cool are actually the biggest losers. Those who are called losers, fat. I'll never forget, years ago, it was still in Durban, we went to a school, and I was giving an example in the school, and I said, I need 4 of you guys. I need you, I need you, I need you. And I picked one girl. The moment she came to the front, the class started laughing. Yo, I wanted to cry. I won't lie to you, I wanted to cry. And her facial expression, you know, there are people who are so bullied in life, they don't even feel it anymore. They're so used to it. Because she was dark-skinned, she was chubby, and they were laughing at her. She was a beautiful child, but obviously society has their standards of what's beautiful. Society says, this is beautiful, this is ugly. They set it. They set it. But when we have a different mindset, who's beautiful, who is ugly, we all have something good, and we all have something that we dislike about our bodies. We all have. And people want to be like, oh, she's perfect, he's perfect. There's no such thing. So I'll never forget that insight. I was really, it kind of broke my strength. I was still very much more inexperienced than I am now. And I remember I didn't have much strength to give my best to that class. I was in pain. Obviously, God guided us, but I was very, very upset with seeing that. Just the moment she came up, they were laughing at her. And I was giving the example. They were 4. I'm like, this one, this one, this one. And this one, when I mentioned her, they just laughed. They were like, If it was today, I would have dissed them. It's because back then I was holding it and stuff. If it was today, I was going to really tell that class off. I was really going to tell them they're indabas. But shame. But today we can make a difference. That girl who is dissed, that guy who is dissed, you are going to go approach them. And at the given opportunity, you're going to bring them to the YPG. If they don't want to come initially, it's okay. He said, for example, no, the boy has his own church, no problem. But through your good example at school, they must see and say, wow, there's something different about you. You're the one person who doesn't judge me. You're the one person who cares about me. Got it. 100%. Let's go. Where? Hey, you guys don't even know where you're going. Where are we going? Show them so they can see in the camera. Where are we going?